with more success. Not only will we start to learn more about meditation, but we'll have more success while we practice meditation, in our practices of meditation. Learning about the parts of the mind. So in meditation, of course, you are taking one experience or one stimuli, and sometimes the meditation stimuli, or what is called the object of focus, the object of concentration, the object of awareness, the object of consciousness, can be something in your external environment. Say, sound is a popular tool for meditation, and in ancient times, they used sounds produced by the own human body, your own mouth, own vocal organs. Have anybody ever heard of the sound Om? Anybody seen Om or chanted Om or heard Om? People sit in concentration position, meditation position, and they say, the Om sound is all sounds a human being can make. When you say A-U-M is how Om is spelled. You see it spelled O-M, but the letters are A-U-M. So say Try saying but not ah. Like from the deep part of your belly. Like really resonate down in the below the navel base of your seat. Right? So you feel that sound. Keep saying Okay? Now we say the U syllable. So A is the first syllable. A is the sound that every alphabet starts with. Every alphabet in the world starts with the ah sound. So any sound you make with your mouth open is the ah sound. So A sound. Try to make the P sound with your mouth open. Try to make the B sound with your mouth open. You always says ah. Ah and ah. You cannot make any sound else first with your mouth open like that unless it's ah. So every sound starts with ah, your mouth and your throat opening. Then U sound. Ooh. Put your hand on your heart and feel the ooh vibration in your heart space. As the sound elongates, it makes the O, or what is spelled in Sanskrit, U sound. Ooh. Now we put our hands on our cheeks, and when I say the M syllable, A-U-M, M is with the mouth closed, the lips are shut, and you say any sound. M-A, ma, One more time. And now let's do it one time with our eyes closed and really elongate the end of the sound. If you notice what happened, the sound vibration traveled from the base of your spine to the top of your head. You say, ah, stimulation in where the creation happens in females. Reproductive area, lower part. Beginning of sound. Ooh, sound frequency moves up to your chest, your heart. And sound frequency ends in your head. Creation, sustaining, preservation, or transformation. Creation, sustaining, transformation. This is the movement of meditation, no matter where you start. One of the objects of meditation you can take is sound. Sound is in your external environment. Sound is made by your own mouth and heard by your own ears. But there's also meditation objects. You can write a circle on the wall on a piece of paper, draw a dot, and focus on that dot. And by focusing on the dot, with your eyes open until you start letting the tears come, then close the eyes, blink, start over again. Practice that 3 times in a row. Your powers of concentration increase. Your attention, the mind's focus, the mind's ability to focus on any thought, on any task, no matter what it is, increases with that practice known as tratak. So now those are 2 practices where we use the external object of focus, object of concentration, object of meditation. When we talk about mindfulness and visualization, you are creating the own object of consciousness in your own mind. A product of your own consciousness is acting as the focus of consciousness. Isn't not a tongue twister. The object is manifested from your own consciousness, you, and it is, you are aware of it. It is the object of your consciousness, produced from consciousness. This is mindfulness. This is visualization. So actually, necessary to know the parts of the mind to figure out where this object and where these thoughts and where these memories and where these images are all showing up in our minds. So first, what happens is through your senses, manas, the first part of your mind is the conscious mind, and that takes in information from your senses. It is the conscious functioning mind, and scientists, neuroscientists and quantum physics, all these are telling us that our brains and our, quote, minds are only using 0.5% of our potential in our conscious mind. So you're like 0.5 or 5% or whatever it is a very small fraction of our mental power is only utilized in the conscious functioning, the intake of sensory information. So the next question should be, okay, where is the other part of our mentation, our mental energy going? Well, that information is sent to your intellect. And your intellect is the function of the mind which determines clear-cut categories, right and wrong, I should do this, I should not do this. Intellect is your reasoning faculty. So intellect is a deciding. But before the intellect has any ability to decide, just the amount of information from your senses through the manas is not enough. So what does the intellect do? It consults your memory, known as chitta, your vast reserve of unconscious reservoir of mental impressions, subtle desires. And the intellect consults with the chitta, consults with your memory, and compares what it just received from your manas, your mind, your conscious mind, and compares that with what you've already received. And if the intellect cannot decide, then it goes back to the senses and back to the manas and back to the mind to get more information, collects it, gives it to the chitta, the memory, compares, and it does this, and this process is happening less than a fraction of a second. Quantum leaps are happening as this is a mental quantum leap, as this all happens in one moment. As soon as the intellect gets enough information, the ego pops in. And the ego raises its head, and the ego says, I know this, and I know that. Or, if the intellect did not get what it required to make an assessment, the ego will then say, I do not know this, or I do not know that. The I. So that's the fourth part. Those are the four parts of what we call mind. Mind, as we said, is normally known as thoughts, but those thoughts are thought waves coming from sensory input into your manas, number one. Manas sends it to buddhi, intellect, number two. Intellect sends it to memory, chitta, number three. That process repeats itself over and over again until ego asserts and arrogates all of it to itself. Ego will assert all of that information to itself, I. So now we talk about mindfulness and visualization. We're creating our own experience, our own object of meditation. And of course, we are there, conscious of everything, of all of it. So the power of the mind, what kind of objects and what kind of images and what kind of thoughts do you want to place in your mind? Not for me to decide, for you to decide. You have the free will to determine how your experience of life is. Peace or agitation. Hatred or love. Fear or compassion. So this is now the switch in our minds that we turn meditation and practice of mindfulness and visualization into something that benefits our lives day by day. That we go on replacing those old samskaras, old impressions, old subtle desires with new, conscious, pure and positive ones, the ones that you actually want. So now we practice this. With knowledge comes practice. Okay? So we sit in a comfortable position. When we sit in meditation, it helps to sit off of the back of your seat. So you can have the natural curvature of your spine, 3 curves in the spine. As much as you can, sit in an erect position. If not possible for you, for whatever reason, use support for your lumbar spine, use support for your back. But try to sit upright with your feet below your knees. Body likes to be in 90-degree angles as strong support foundation. And then notice if you're leaning forward, leaning backward, leaning side to side, if your belly's poking out, if your ribs are poking out, bring everything into alignment over your hips. Your ribs over your hips, your shoulders over your ribs, and your head over your shoulders. If it's natural for you, close your eyes and just continue to allow your mind to become more subtle. The mind has already been rendered subtle by expanding the understanding of ourselves, our own minds. So now, using this subtle power of your mind, place the focus at your solar plexus, the space of your belly and abdomen which moves the most while you breathe. And focus on that movement. We're going to start to draw the mind from external to internal. So we're focusing on this movement of our solar plexus, the upper part of our abdomen, as we inhale and exhale. And just as the sky is so clear, and also the sky can be so cloudy, and yet be completely unaffected, in the same way you witness your breath coming in, each inhalation, as you're aware of it, the exhalation follows, and the inhalation is passed like a cloud. And as that exhalation, you're aware of that, that also passes like a cloud in the sky. You are the sky. You are now going to understand and realize yourself, the self which is the shining light of this meditation, consciousness, as the sky. Allow your sky to be as it is right now, without trying to change the sky. The sky does not need to change itself. It is pure awareness. Relax into this awareness. Practice simply being aware. You notice that from your object of focus, the belly, abdomen, solar plexus movement, inhalation and exhalation, something else may have come into your awareness or captured your attention, your consciousness, your light. Allow that to also pass. For no thought has ever stuck onto the sky. No cloud has ever scratched or marked the sky. Continue developing this skillful awareness that you do not have to pull back away from the clouds. You can allow the clouds, as the sky does, to come in and move out. Remaining in that meditation, realization of your sky-like nature. The affirmation helps. I am pure awareness. Utilize the affirmation. I am absolute consciousness. And all thoughts, all names, and all forms appear in my consciousness. I am pure awareness. I am always pure awareness. I always was this awareness. And I always will be this awareness. The sky. Completely untouched by the clouds. Yet sustaining all the clouds.